Hey y'all, I'm gonna be trying out this new intro. Um, I want to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe I don't, maybe I do. I don't know. Um, Basically, I'm gonna keep doing it. But so that's that. All right. She walks through the corn, leaning down to the river. Her hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that a poor boy could give her and left me to die like a fox on the run. Alright, so I'm just going to basically sing a little snippet of a song. It's going to be my intro, I guess. Everybody else seems to be getting intros, so well, I'll give this a shot, right? uh, just call me the singing prepper. The singing prepper. I don't know. Got my knife. One that I made from the lawnmower parts. Well, the blade is actually an old lawnmower blade, and I decided to turn it into a knife. Big beefy knife. Got a oak handle. A little bit of linseed oil. Alright, so I'm here to talk about tobacco. Speaking of which, wrong can. There it is. Alright, so survival uses for tobacco. I know it's taken me a while to get this video rolling, but here it is. Survival uses for tobacco. There's an old Chris Ledoux song where he says, if you don't use this nasty stuff, don't start. But if you're hopelessly addicted, you got to find something good to say about a bad habit. Well, this is what I'm giving it a shot anyway. First off, if you don't use it, don't start it. Don't stockpile it. I'm not a big proponent of stockpiling stuff for the sake of barter. Don't buy a bunch. I mean, you can have maybe a couple packs of cigarettes, a couple cans of snuff laying around. Throw them in the fridge or the freezer. And SHTF happens. Okay, you've got that you can use to trade with. Brilliant, right? SHTF doesn't happen. You're out $15. Depending on what state you're in. And so yeah, you could potentially use it as a barter item, but don't waste your money on it if you don't use it. I'd rather spend that money on rather than spend it on something I ain't gonna use. I'd rather spend it on stuff that I will use. And so maybe I won't need to barter. All right. All right. So that's that. I am a tobacco user, as you can tell. I'm like, who knows how many generations, probably ever since, ever since they brought tobacco from the States over to Europe. That's probably how long my family's been chewing or smoking tobacco. Dad does, Grandpa did, great grandpa did, great great grandpa did. I mean, just the way it is. Now, some of the uses that some of these I've figured out, and some of these I've learned and used from those great men in my life that that chewed tobacco or rubbed snuff. You know, I don't know anything about cigarettes as far as any extra uses there might be for it. But like, I do know a little bit about snuff and chewing tobacco, some of the extra uses you can have for that. One of which is basically it acts like Sevens dust. You got worms and stuff getting into your cabbage, sprinkle a little bit of this stuff on your cabbage or your lettuce or whatever. Sprinkle you a little bit on that, and the bugs apparently got more sense than we do, and they stay away from it. So there's that. Now, and it don't work as good as, you know, the toxic poisons and all that, but it's better than nothing, right? Second, I picked this up from an old Navy corpsman. This is not medical advice, by the way. Gut you a couple of big swallows. If you don't use it, put your rub in, gut you a couple of big old swallows, and it will, if you can keep it from coming out the top end, it'll clear you out on the backside. Alright, so there's that. Now, my grandpa, my great-grandpa, they always used chewing tobacco to worm their horses. You know, like once a month or once a week, or, you know, just every so often, especially in the summertime, they'd give a couple of, you know, big old handful of chewing tobacco to their horses, and it kills the worms inside of them. Might explain why I've never had worms, so. It's just a joke, fellas, just a joke. You know, and another thing that I always remember my grandpa doing, he always had a mature red man in. He'd go out and he'd be out working. You know, we'd all be out working, and he'd get stung by a bee or a wasp or just bug bit. You know, them little bug bites that just ache and sore, just hurt. Well, he'd just take his, you know, he'd just go and he'd spit on his arm where the bee sting was. Rub that in, swelling goes down. I don't know what it does, how it does, but that's it. I've also been told by a dentist, believe it or not, there are dentists in my part of the country. Believe it or not, we do have dentists. I got all my teeth. So had a dentist tell me that the only reason me and my dad had never had cavities, I've never had a cavity, and my dad hadn't either. We were told by the dentist, that we rubbed snuff, and that's what kept us from having a cavity. There's antiseptic properties in the tobacco, as well as the fact that basically the same reason that the dentists and everything say that chewing gum is a good way for reducing plaque. Well, it causes you to salivate. You know, albeit you just swallow it if it's chewing gum, but you do. It causes you to salivate. Same thing with tobacco. If you're rubbing snuff, chewing tobacco, you're salivating. And it gets a coating on your teeth, and it'll help protect it. Now, I'm sure that 1,000,001 dentists out there, you know, are going to say, no, that is a load of horse manure. But I'm just telling you what the dentist told me. And, you know, I think I can trust him. Although, he might just be trying to find something good to say about a bad habit because he rubs snuff too. Now, cigarettes I know are not that way. They are bad for your teeth. They'll cause them to crack and all that other nasty stuff because you're inhaling smoke, which is not good for you in any fashion. You're not supposed to be breathing in smoke. I mean, it's not good for you. But, so, any cigarette smokers out there, pipe smokers, anybody smokes pipe, cigars, cigarillos, cigarettes, I'm talking just tobacco, no wacky tobacco, I don't care, I don't want to talk about it. But does anybody out there have any other uses for either chewing tobacco, snuff, cigarettes, anything else that you smoke tobacco-wise? Alright, we're not talking wacky tobacco, just regular old tobacco. I would love to hear in the comment section below, I would love to hear any other uses. And also, don't say throw in the trash. Don't say that. Don't say. Because, you know what? I don't want to hear that. I hear that enough for my family. And until you've been hooked on a substance, you don't understand. It is hard to quit. And maybe one day I will quit. But right now, I don't want to quit. So that's it. I tell my wife, say, listen, I don't go out partying. I don't go out drinking. I don't do any illegal drugs. I don't beat you. I'm faithful. Give me my one vice. This is my vice. Let me have it. Let me have this vice. I can hold down a job. Make sure the bills, there's enough money to pay the bills. This is my vice. Let me have it. She doesn't take too kindly to that. So, fellas, if you get any ideas, your missus might not take too kindly to that little spiel that I just gave. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Till next time, again, let me know. Y'all know any other uses for tobacco? I would love to hear them. Just something to try out myself and add to my repertoire. Would love to hear it. Also, I am in the process. I mentioned in a previous video a while back the UST Survival 72-hour bag. I'm in the process of building my own 72-hour bag. I'm going to have, if not exact, but similar stuff. And I can do it for less than they're charging at the local store. So I've already got some of the pieces. Probably need to wait till this payday, maybe even next payday, to get a few other items, because it is, it's not all stuff that I need in my prep, so I can only, and I don't get any money from YouTube or, anything, so this is all my money. But I will be eventually, slowly but surely, putting together a 3-day bag for the sake of proving that the UST bags are a ripoff. So there's that. Anyway, till next time, this Big Country Survival, signing out. God bless.